What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and today it is time that we discuss the 2024 House map prediction. That's right, we are back with the congressional map prediction. Now, there is a quick disclaimer before we start today's video. The maps in Ohio and North Carolina, this is based off of potential redistricting we could very well see in both of the states. So this isn't a final prediction for these states after all. With redistricting, in particular in North Carolina, this is based on the assumption that 4 districts that are Democrat-leaning should flip the Republican-leaning after redistricting based on what we're hearing in the state of North Carolina. So that's the quick disclaimer. Don't take this out of context a year in advance. This is just based off of what we did hear about with redistricting in those 2 states. So yeah, that's the only caveat to the 2024 House map. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. Guys, just for $3 a month, you could join Real American Politics, which is a phenomenal deal as it helps support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, that is the best way to support it by joining today. So I hope you join today. Alright, everybody, let's get into today's video. Now, of course, there are a couple states like South Carolina where South Carolina first may get changed, but as of now, we're going to have that safe Republican just for now. Things could absolutely change, but this is based off the current map and what we're hearing out in North Carolina and Ohio. Now, also, there are a couple districts that you may say, why aren't you talking about? For example, Wisconsin 3rd. Well, Derek Van Orden is now an incumbent, and incumbency doesn't matter as much as it used to, but a 2 to 3 point boost in a Republican trending seat in a presidential year, yeah, I think that kind of classifies it safe, which doesn't mean they're going to win by 15 points. It just means the probability of them winning is over like 75-80%. So that's kind of the definition of safe and lean in this circumstance. If it's below 75%, you could probably say it's leaning. If it's above 75%, it is safe. Again, there could be a quick, margin error by 5%. You get the point. Point is, we're doing this map. So let's get started. And we're going to start in the great state of Alaska. Now, here's the problem the Republicans have in this state. There's really only one Republican I could think that could seriously take out Mary Peltola, which is, of course, Chewbacca. She's our only chance of taking her out. And as of now, we don't know if she's going to run or not. And I think based on the ranked choice voting garbage that they created in Alaska, it is leaning Democrat. Whoa, what are you doing? That should not be doing that. There we go. It's leaning Democrat as of now, which sucks, but that's kind of what it is because we don't know who's going to run for sure. And the ranked choice voting system makes it much harder for Republicans just for the fact we can never unite behind one candidate or the other. Now we got Arizona. Now, David Schweikert, in my opinion, it's only a matter of time before he loses. And at this point in time, I think the incumbency, that's the only thing that may save him here. Outside of that, a Democrat trending seat, and there's potential Democrats run a decent enough candidate that Schweikert could potentially be taken out in 2024. Now, there is hope he could potentially hold on, but at this point in time, if he doesn't lose now, I think he's screwed in 2026 or for sure by 2028. It is really only a matter of time for David Schweikert. Arizona 6, Ciscomani is an incumbent now, and he won by 1.5 points despite a lot of people underperforming him in that district. Now, this is a seat that I believe it is slightly trending Democrat. I could be off, but I believe it is barely shifting Democrat by like a point or something like that. And very well could shift Republican based on where in the state this district is. And as an incumbent, that really does give him a big boost in spite of it shifting a bit Democrat. So yeah, I think we lose Arizona first, but I do think we hold on to Arizona 6. Now we get California. Now, Kevin Kiley, he's going to hold on. He's going to hold on for a while. That's why we have it as safe. So you get the point. Now, California 9th, we are also going to put in safe. That should have been safe already. I'm sorry about that. Whoops. But outside of that, rest of these you could talk about as safe or not. John Girardi in California 13th. What was arguably one of the biggest surprises of the night was him winning. Now, as an incumbent, he does get a couple point advantage. The problem is this is going to be a higher turnout election, and well, did he win just because of luck? I don't know. But this is a seat that is trending Republican in the Central Valley. And John Girardi, he may go against Adam Gray again, which makes you wonder, is this going to become like a Christy Smith situation in California 27th where they keep running the same candidate and it just doesn't work? I don't know. But I think as of now, it still is leaning Democrat for the fact that it's a Biden plus 11 seat. And the only thing that may save him is now he's an incumbent and it's Republican trending. Those are the two things that, at the end of the day, could potentially save John Girardi in California 13th. Now, David Valadao. This is the definition of a pure toss-up. He won by a larger than expected margin in 2024 or 2022. And I think he does hold on in 2024. Now, at what point in time is he going to keep this luck up? That's an argument for a different day. But I think it currently is leaning Republican. If so, by barely, by the skin of his teeth, I think it is holding on. He's been incumbent for a couple of years, and I'm starting to wonder, do Democrats have somebody that can really take out Valadao at this point? We just got to see what happens in California 22nd. My man, Mike Garcia, he's going to win. As of now, he's like a 70% chance of holding on. He won by 6.5 in 2022. I know his margin was inflated because he went against Christy Smith. But outside of that, I think Mike Garcia is very well on his way to win re-election again. Which, remember all the people were saying that he was dead on arrival? Well, as of now, I think it is leaning towards his direction. And again, the only thing that may bite him is the fact this is a Democrat trending seat, and you may see a bit higher turnout. But does that really matter against Mike Garcia? I don't think it really does. Now, Ken Calvert. Boy, look, there's no reason he only won by 4.5. That was ridiculous. And, well, he may be screwed in a couple of years, but he is going to hold on as of now. Michelle Steele, I think she holds on just by a little bit. I don't think it's going to be by a 5-point margin. I think it'll be by a 2 to 3 point margin, but I think it is leaning towards Michelle Steele. Now, we have California 47th, and the reason we have this is, number one, Scott Baugh, who nearly took out Katie Porter, is running again. Number two, Porter's not running, so you don't have an incumbent, but this could be a situation where the incumbent not running may help the Democrat Party. So with that in mind, however, it is leaning Democrat, but this is a race I recommend people pay attention to. This could get interesting if Republicans, aka Scott Baugh, runs a good enough campaign. Mike Levin, borderline safe. If not, I will probably make it safe. You can make an argument about it. I think it is going to be not as close as it was in 2022. But I think there is a chance that theoretically he could lose. But I think that is what I would call a safe Democrat seat, aka greater than a 75% chance. Colorado. As of now, Boebert's probably going to hold on. The reason that Boebert did so bad is, one, in 2020, she underperformed Trump by a point, Well, she underperformed O'Dea by a point in 2022. O'Dea did a bit better than I thought in the district, but he still almost lost it. There's no reason that Joe O'Dea nearly loses that seat. And number two, with whatever if it's Trump or DeSantis, they're not going to barely win it by a point. They may win only by 4 to 5 points, but with that margin, which Boebert's history indicates she does about a point worse, well, that's probably a 3 to 4 point victory. Though there may be some concern for Boebert down the line. Just all the districts in Colorado, they may be all at risk because of the fact the state's trending that Democrat. Now, there is one district, however, that is trending Republican. And if it wasn't for frickin' Joe O'Dea, we 100% would have won this seat. Colorado 8th. O'Dea single-handedly costed us this seat. Calvillo won by 0.7. This was a Biden plus 4.5 seat. If O'Dea wasn't on the ballot, Kirkmeyer 100% would have won this seat. 100%. Now, the problem for Republicans now is, will it continue trending slightly Republican, which it has, and will the incumbency save her for now? And as of now, maybe. It may just slightly save her by the skin of her teeth. We got to see what happens, but it's going to get very interesting in Colorado 8th. Now, Connecticut 5th, Hazer's probably going to win as of now. Not much argument. Though the same guy that nearly took her out in 2022 is running again, George Logan, which I officially endorse him. He is the one guy that I believe could seriously take out Hayes in Connecticut 5th. But things could change. Things could happen where he may not, or he gets a scandal and he drops out. But this is the one seat that, if we do win a seat in Connecticut, it is a seat of Connecticut 5th. Now we have the great state of Florida. And surprisingly, there are a couple of competitive seats. And Florida 13th, Republican trending. Luna won it by 8 points. Now she's an incumbent. She's not going to lose. She has virtually no chance of losing. Salazar, same deal. She won by 15. Dear Lord. But the other two, Darren Soto and Jared Moskowitz, in Florida 9th and Florida 23rd. Both of these seats are trending significantly Republican. One in the Orlando area and one in the Miami area. I think for now, they are both going to be leaning Democrat. In Florida 23rd, it could potentially flip. It absolutely could. You just have some clown establishment candidate here that lost by 5 here when DeSantis won the seat by 3. I think Rubio won the seat also, but this is a seat that you can absolutely win it with a good candidate. We had some crappy loser, moderate Republican in this seat, and he underperformed the entire ticket. But I think it is leaning Democrat, but is a seat that down the line, Republicans should be able to pick up if they run the correct candidate. Now we got Illinois. Underwood's going to hold on, borderline safe, if not probably safe at this point in time. There's really no shot of us beating her in that district. And Eric Sorensen in Illinois 17th, it is leaning Democrat. He's an incumbent now, but hopefully we get a stronger candidate against him this time. Now, this is a seat that is slightly shifting Republican. And if the trends keep up, Sorensen could potentially be taken out down the line. But as of now, Illinois 17th is leaning towards the Democrats. Now, Indiana first. Frank Mervyn. He underperformed a lot of expectations. I really did not think it was going to be that close, almost within 5. Now, he is the favorite. Again, incumbency. The fact is he still won by 5.5, 5 points. But Democrats eventually have to worry about this seat. It is a Republican trending seat that, if the trends continue, Mervyn may get taken out potentially as early as next year. That's the type of trends we are dealing with. And well, if there is an upset, I believe it would happen in Indiana first in the year of 2022, or 2024, excuse me. But as of now, he is leaning towards the Democrats. Iowa, Zach Nunn's winning. Just stop it. He's an incumbent now. He beat an incumbent who was a big overperformer, and this is barely shifting Republican as a seat. Now, he's not going to win by 15 or anything like that, but he is probably going to win it by a couple points. For the fact is, he has a lot of things going for him that he didn't have going for him in 2022. So this idea that Zach Nunn is going to potentially lose, no, he isn't going to lose in 2024, barring some ridiculous circumstances. Maine, borderline safe. Golden is going to win that seat. There's rumors he may run for the Senate seat, but I don't think it's going to happen now. That Angus Knoblet said he will run again. With Golden there, it is borderline safe. If not, I may make it safe. Now, Michigan. There are 3 seats that, quote-unquote, are competitive. Lisa Slotkin, Dan Kildee, and John James' seat. Now, Slotkin. She's running for that Senate seat. She was a big overperformer over Republicans up ballot. Now, Slotkin running for the Senate may help Democrats in this specific seat, and that is why I have it leaning towards the Democrats. But, you know, considering the fact that I think Whitmer won the seat by, wasn't like 8 or 9? I could be wrong, but I believe she won it by 8 or 9. Again, don't quote me, but I believe that's what it was. It could get close, and if Republicans run a strong candidate and Republicans do better than expected in Michigan, this is a seat that could absolutely flip. Kildee's seat, not so much. If you run a perfect candidate, you may flip it. I just don't see Kildee losing as of now. Now, Michigan 10. John James isn't losing. Look, everybody needs to understand, he overperformed the ticket vastly. Now he's an incumbent in a seat that is trending Republican, if slowly. I mean, that was one of the worst environments in the country for Republicans. It was Biden +7 and like D +4. It's like, that's not a good environment. But now he's an incumbent, and well, he's in a seat that is fairly favorable to him. He's absolutely going to hold on. These people that say, oh, John James is going to lose because he nearly lost in 2022. Well, how bad did Whitmer win that seat? Yeah, that's all you need to know about Michigan 3rd. Now, Montana. You know, even if Ryan Zinke runs again, I think it is leaning towards the Republicans, though I hope somebody primaries this clown out. I mean, come on. Can you just go away? You nearly costed us Montana 1st, and you're thinking about running for the Senate? I hope somebody primaries him out, some real conservative, not some neocon loser. I mean, that's what Zinke is. He's saying, oh, we need to stop. I think he was talking about Ukraine on the Congress floor. It's like, oh, you see here, we need to stop the Russians in Ukraine, or I think it was actually Syria, whatever. Point is, he's a complete bozo, and he's using arguments from 2002 that we need to stop the terrorists in Iraq when they didn't have any weapons of mass destruction. It's like, dude, get new talking points. It is leaning Republican just for the fact that it is a presidential year, but with Tester on the ballot, that could potentially not be good for Republicans. Now we got Nebraska. Look, Don Bacon. At this point, if he loses and wins in 2024, I think he loses in 2026. It is barely leaning Republican, but at some point it's like, when is it going to flip? When is it going to flip? And I think it could seriously flip this cycle. It absolutely could. He had his worst performance when you compare to the national environment he's ever had. So, when are you going to lose, dude? It is a matter of time before Don Bacon inevitably bites the bullet and he probably retires in obscurity. Now, Nevada. There are 3 competitive seats in Nevada. I don't care what, Nevada 4th is, Nevada 3rd is safe, or Nevada 4th is safe. Not really. there is a couple seats we could pick off, in particular Nevada 3rd and Nevada 4th. I don't think we pick off any of these seats just yet. It will be close. I absolutely think if we do flip one, it would be Nevada 3rd or potentially even Nevada 4th. Horsford may be in some trouble, but looking at Nevada, it is one of the most slowest trending states in the country. But it is a matter of time before potentially all three of these districts flip Republican. Hopefully Lombardo does some good things and, well, helps us flip Nevada 4th and potentially Nevada 3rd. So Nevada, in my opinion, they are leading Democrat, all three of them. But we could potentially pull it off. New Hampshire, leaning Democrat. It is borderline safe. It is so close to safe. But I just want to see where the national environment ends up before I make a decision about New Hampshire. Now, New Jersey, Tom Keene's winning. He is absolutely going to hold on in 2024. Could it be closer? Yes, but I don't think he's going to lose. New Mexico. If there is a pickup for Republicans, I think it is in New Mexico 2nd. I have this feeling that Vasquez is potentially going to lose. And, well, redistricting may hit New Mexico. There's a big lawsuit happening in the state of New Mexico. And, well, if we just get even a slightly favorable map where New Mexico 2nd's like Biden +3 instead of Biden +6, that alone flips the district. And I think Vasquez got lucky when you look at some of the precinct data in New Mexico 2nd. I think we could absolutely pull it off in that state. Now, New York. This is where there's a lot of competitive seats. Who would have thought New York would have had the vast majority or a big chunk of the competitive congressional seats? So George Santos, no. We are not winning New York 3rd. Borderline safe. It is not looking good for Republicans in New York 3rd. Could we potentially, technically pull it off? If Lee Zeldin's on the ballot again, who knows? But for now, I think it is leaning Democrat. And same thing with New York 4th. The problem the Republicans have is how much of this was Lee Zeldin. Now, Michael Lawler, on the other hand, I think he is going to win. And he is building a name brand in New York 17th. He is running as, a common sense conservative. And while I think Zeldin may have helped him a bit, I don't think it explains his entire margin as of now. I mean, he took on one of the most powerful people in the Democrat Party. I know he was a weak candidate, but still, that is a hard thing to do. Now, Pat Ryan is probably going to hold on in New York 18th. Mark Molinaro, I think, will hold on. And Brendan Williams, similar deal in New York 22nd. I think a lot of these upstate districts, Republicans will do fine up here. It's just a matter of the Long Island seats. Those are the seats that 100% Zeldin played a big factor in. And it could shock us that, hey, maybe we hold on to New York 4th. But these upstate seats, Zeldin played a part, but not as big as, for sure, Long Island. I mean, did you guys see the shift map in Long Island? It was like a 15, 20-point shift, while the rest of the state was maybe like 5 or 10. That's a pretty good shift for Republicans in the state of New York. Now, North Carolina. Now, I'm being clear here. This is based off of potential redistricting. Now, for argument's sake, let's say North Carolina 14th leans Democrat. Let's say they don't go too far with North Carolina 14th. The rest of these, though, there is a serious chance that I think Don Davis is going to lose in North Carolina first. Based on redistricting, we are hearing that's about to happen in North Carolina first. And North Carolina 13, that's flipping. That is 100% flipping. Just a basic redistricting of those two seats, it automatically flips. Just a point or two towards the right, and, well, you just shift, you win both of those seats. Now, North Carolina 6. The reason that I am still going to put this as leaning Democrat as well, there still is some unknowns about how far will we go with redistricting. If we go with the original map, well, all 4 of these seats would be leaning Republican. But for now, let's just be fair. Let's just say, all right, we'll be a bit nice to Democrats. Let's say they hold on to North Carolina 14th and North Carolina 6th. That's just argument's sake. Ohio. The only way we take out Captor is we somehow get her out of Toledo. That's the only way you could potentially beat Captor. Outside of that, yeah, no, you're not going to beat her. Now, Ohio 13th. This is a seat, and I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, how dare you. I think it will flip. Now, if they redistrict it and make it a Biden plus 15 seat, no. But I think Ohio 13th. This is one seat where I 100% believe was a fluke by Democrats in 2022. Reason being is you had a terrible Republican candidate, and in a presidential year, you're going to have somebody more than likely Trump on the ticket, and well, this is a seat that is trending a bit Republican. It's a blue-collar, working-class seat. And you run somebody with a pulse. That Greg Wheeler guy, I'm not the biggest, he's not perfect on everything, but I believe he would win. I believe he would, end of the day, win Ohio 13th. So, we just got to see, though, how much of Sykes' victory was just garbage candidates. But for now, I have it as leaning Republican. Now we got Oregon. Now, I think Oregon 6, which was way closer than I originally thought, is leaning Democrat. For the simple fact that that's way too close for comfort for a Biden plus 13 seat in what is effectively a Portland suburb. Now, there is, however, a seat that I think Republicans could hold on to in 2024 in Oregon. It's Oregon 5th. I think Lori Chavez Reimer, who was a phenomenal recruit, so far has been a great congresswoman in that seat, and quite frankly, the bench at Oregon 5th, not the best in the world for Democrats. She overperformed the ticket by a couple points. I think she absolutely holds on, especially that now she's an incumbent, and, this is a big and, there is hopefully a chance that the national environment stays maybe a shift to their left by a couple points, but nothing crazy. With all that in mind, this is a seat that is trending a bit Democrat. Could it potentially flip? Absolutely, but I think Chavez Reimer's victory, in particular with how bad the bench is in that seat, I think she's going to hold on for a little bit. But again, things could absolutely change, and well, we don't. But I think Oregon 5th is one of those seats that absolutely Republicans could hold on to. Now we got Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, I think Scott Perry will hold on as of now. The reason that this is not a safe seat is it's trending Democrat, and Scott Perry did not win by as much as anyone thought. Nobody thought he was only going to win by under 10. Now, the top of the ticket didn't help much, but still it's like, dude, you may have a problem. You may have a problem down the line in Pennsylvania 10th, but I still think he is going to hold on for now. Susan Wild and Chris Deluzio, they're both going to hold on. Now, Susan Wild is in a Biden plus half seat and could potentially pick off, but I don't really see it. Now, Pennsylvania 8th, on the other hand, Matt Cartwright. This is a seat that if it doesn't flip in 2024, it will flip in 2026. But I say it is leading Democrat because I want to see who the Republican candidate is. And just, is this a seat that can still trend more Republican, which absolutely can. I just want to see some more data before we say Republicans could theoretically flip Pennsylvania 8th. Now we got the great state of Virginia. And Virginia 7th is leaning Democrat. Spanberger is a strong candidate overall. Now, Virginia 2nd, Kiggans will hold on. Kiggans at this point in time will hold on. She did a bit better than even I thought she was going to do in Virginia 2nd. So yeah, those are two seats that, quite obvious in my opinion, that they're probably going to be leaning Democrat and one leaning Republican. So no pickups as of yet in Virginia. Now Washington. Kim Schreier will hold on, borderline safe. The only reason it's not as well, she won by a bit more than Biden did, but it's like, was it because Democrats overperformed expectations in Washington, or is it just because now she's a strong candidate? I want to see. But the one seat that I absolutely believe, as of now, is leaning Republican. Washington 3rd. Washington 3rd, as of now, is leaning Republican. You could say what you want about Joe Kent. If he runs in again, we may lose. Fine. But there's a good chance we do not go with Kent again. And we go with somebody like Jim Walsh, who's a popular state legislator and could absolutely beat Maria Perez into oblivion. I mean, he overperformed his part by like 15 points in the district. He is a strong candidate that, if Republicans get him, we can absolutely beat Marie Perez in 2024. So yeah. Now, I believe there's one state. I must have missed something. Minnesota. I, of course, forgot to do Minnesota. Whoops. So in the state of Minnesota, you got Angie Craig. It's leading Democrat. Biden +7 seat, and she won it by 5 points. When I originally thought Republicans had a decent recruit going into 2022. And that, folks, is the current state of the map for 2024. Now, people are going to say, but New Mexico 2nd's not going to flip, or, we're going to lose, all the North Carolina and or Oregon seats. Potentially. But when you look at the dynamics of each of these races, and in North Carolina's situation, it's purely based off of redistricting. We could potentially pick off up to 4 seats in North Carolina if they go hard with redistricting. So I'm just being lenient on some of these seats, like in North Carolina. It could potentially change. But as of now, I think this is the current state. Yes, I have Republicans picking up a seat. Just for the simple fact, redistricting in Ohio and North Carolina could play a big part in us actually expanding the majority. Now, seats like Oregon 5th, you could debate about. But I don't think many people are going to dispute places like Iowa 3rd. I think this is, as of now, the map going into 2024. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.